So we know that not all whiskey is created equal. I didn't know this, to be clear. What makes a good whiskey? And
why isn't all whiskey created equal?
Well, we tried some. I think it was Mr. Jameson and what's another one? That Wild Turkey, not the good Wild Turkey, the bad Wild Turkey, that $20 bottle Wild Turkey. It was wild, all right.
Okay, so what about these? Would you say these are not created equal? Everything on these are the exact same except for the barrel. So would you say they're created equal?
No.
No?
No, you told me about the power of the barrel and what the barrel can do, so it can't be created equal.
Well, I would say the whiskey's created equally.
In terms of
so
recipe,
it's all equal until it goes into the individual barrels. So now it's not equal because now you're putting it in different barrels. So that's why these two are identical in every form, and they've stayed in this location the whole time, and so everything's identical on these except for the barrels that were used, which were the identical cooperage, the identical time, like everything's the same, but these are physically different barrels. So they were created equal until they go into the barrel, and then over time that inequality is then exponential over time. So think if you're like 1 degree off, like over time, like over a long deal, then it's dramatically different. So that's what the barrel is. So I would almost argue that a lot of the whiskeys are created equal, especially this stuff that we have that is the same mash bill, but then the wood is a game changer.
So for someone that's looking for whiskey or to learn about it, what would be the first thing you would want them to know about barrel, aging, and then the palate, all the stuff that you taught us?
From a consumer standpoint?
I think from both, man, because you got two experiences going on here. You can come in and experience in a way where you get to package your own, and then you got people who literally just love to come and drink your whiskey.
So there's a big advantage to tasting the single barrels.
Yeah.
So we allow you to taste the single barrels. So if you didn't taste the single barrels, like especially with the current age on them, then you don't really know what you're getting.
Yeah.
So then you might think but then by the time the bottle shows up or what you get, then it might be different. Even if you go to a large distillery and say you're with a group and you're doing a private barrel selection, sometimes it's 9 months before that barrel gets dumped, bottled, proofed down. Sometimes they make you take it at a certain proof, and then when the bottles show up, they might not taste like how you remember. So big advantage is tasting straight from the barrel at time of bottling, so you know exactly what you get. So then you know what you can be very decisive on, like, nope, don't like that one, don't like that one, yeah, this is the one I like. And then you bottle it, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm getting exactly what I wanted and expected, versus just hoping that it's going to be good.
Now, let me ask you this: is whiskey the spirit for the soul?
Of course.
I mean, and I'm asking because whiskey, I just was looking at Forbes, and they said it's moved down a peg or two, and we're going through the summertime, so it kind of makes sense. I don't know that whiskey's the best drink in the summertime when it's 105 degrees in Texas.
Usually whiskey sales go down a little bit in the summer, and then tequila goes up a little bit. Because people are making bright, fresh cocktails, and don't want to drink the higher proof stuff. So we intentionally bottle things a little bit lower proof, or work with different barrels that we know proof down better, because we have some that are just like that just don't take on water well. So we do a lot of experiments with that. So the ones that do take on water, that allow us to proof them down over a fairly short amount of time, and then get them in the bottle, within a month or so, those are the ones that we're kind of releasing. So like the one with banana on it.
Oh, man.
So that was released at 100 proof, where cast strength that would have been close to 120, but at 100, it's like, man, you could drink this all day, and with the banana notes on it,
look, let me be very clear. You can't drink none of his whiskey all day. You'll be somewhere for the next 3 days, knocked off your ass.
But that one's very easy drinking.
Oh, man.
Would you agree with that?
I would. I bought a bottle. I have a bottle. There's still a bottle at the house. I forgot Stan's bottle there. I said, I was looking around last night. He said, you got my whiskey? I said, I got one of the Risen Ryes for it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I was
Cool.
like, yo, I found it. It was in one
Nice.
of my bags.
Nice. That's a good
So
bottle.
we now know that not all whiskey is created equal, but as you said, it is until it goes into the barrel. What are the top 3 things you hope people find when they come in and looking for an experience to like package and bottle, your whiskey?
Yeah, I want them to say wow from a quality standpoint. Like, wow, we've been to a lot of other distilleries and nothing has tasted like this. So from a quality perspective and from a unique identity, because as you know, a lot of these barrels have their own identity and they're extremely unique. Because I mean, why do something like this or do an experience and then look for the same like profile or the same mainstream kind of flavors that you can get at the big box store.
Yeah.
So when you come here, most people want something unique that you can't find anywhere else. So that's why we tag those barrels as what they are. So when people say, hey man, yeah, I really like orange, or I don't like rye, or like we know which barrel to say, hey man, check this out. And then they're like, whoa, I've never seen that before.
Tasted it, seen it, smelled it, none of it, man. It is bar none. It's hard to go and like, I don't even know how to read a bottle because I'm learning more how to read these barrels. And the more barrels we try, it's hard to go into the store and say, well, let's get this bottle. You're like,
Yeah, I'd say the third thing is if you're involved in the blending process too, that would be the third biggest thing, because then you have creative control over making something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So prior to you coming in and making this blend, this whiskey did not exist. So now you have input on it, and you're the one that created it and has ownership. So that's like, those are the top 3 things that if you can check all those boxes, then it's like, man, this is so cool. Like, when can we come back with a different group? So
there you go, people. Well, listen, I know that whiskey is one of the things that we're still learning about. This guy's running a wonderful business here, and every barrel's different. So we might do some barrel unboxing, as we talked about in another video. You got to get in here. You got to bottle it. You got to try it. If you've never, or if you have thought about trying whiskey or wanting to get into it, this is the best place on earth to do it. At least in my experience. And I don't have enough, but I've got enough clarity in terms of sense of self to know when you're in the right place at the right time. Anything you want to know about the Whiskey Blendery as we close this one out?
say that again.
Anything you want to know about the Whiskey Blendery as we close this one out?
Yeah, I think it's a everybody that comes here usually learns something.
Yeah.
And they're at different walks in their journey. Some people come here just as a support system to somebody else, and they don't even like whiskey. And then by the end of it, they're super excited because of all they learned, and now they kind of know what they like and what they don't like. So, it is more fun, and it saves your bourbon budget when you know what you like versus just going into a store and saying, oh, this looks cool, or the story on the back looks cool, let me buy this bottle. And it's like, you don't have to do that here. You can taste everything before you buy it here, and you find out what you really like, and then you can kind of dial in on what that is. Versus I made the mistake of buying hundreds and hundreds of bottles that I didn't like, but I didn't know I didn't like them until I bought them, and that was costly, and it took up a lot of space, but that also helped me create this, because that's why I started blending the ones I didn't like. So
Oh man, keep it whiskey, peeps.